So I now bring in Elaine Wilson to the desk to talk some Pac-12 women's hoops. Elaine, over the weekend, we saw Oregon State get handed its first conference loss. ASU only scores 16 points in the first half and then lose on a buzzer beater to Cal, and U of A beat Stanford for the first time since 2004 to complete the trilogy of upsets. It's not even March yet, but how did all this madness impact the Pac-12 standings?
Well, when you look at the Pac-12 standings, you can see that OSU is still number one. Again, they're the only one that has only had one loss in the conference, so they held that spot. Now ASU and Cal is tied at second. Let's take a look at this graphic to see the rest of them. We've got Stanford falling behind to number 4 after their loss to U of A, and Washington is sitting there on the cusp of that first round bye week for the Pac-12 tournament, so expect them to possibly jump up into the top 4.
So looking a bit more into the future now, how do these upsets this weekend and over this past week influence your projected seedings for the Pac-12 conference tournament?
Well, we've got this cool graphic that shows the entire bracket for the Pac-12 tournament. As you can see, all the seeds are lined up there. For 6 through 12, they're going to probably stay relatively the same, a few shakeups here and there. But take a look at that number 5 spot. That is going to be the important one. They don't get that first round bye, and it's going to be, when we see it, I think, Stanford. So Stanford, they have a tough road test coming ahead, and I don't expect them to win.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because last year Stanford was a team that had Shanae Ogumike and just steamrolled all these Pac-12 teams. This year, kind of trending in the opposite direction. They lost to both Arizona schools, so it's interesting that you even have them out of the top 4.
Right, and they're going to have to face Cal back-to-back and Oregon State. I don't even think they can win 2 of those games, so I see them falling to number 5. Then for the 1 through 4 spots, we've got OSU at the top spot still. We've got Cal jumping to second. 3 is ASU, and number 4 is Washington. Like I said, they have an easier schedule coming to the end of the Pac-12 play, so I see them jumping up to that number 4 spot. Cal and ASU both have to face Oregon State. I don't see either of them beating Oregon State, and I do see some inconsistencies with this ASU team when it comes to both rebounding and free throws, so I think they're going to drop and have another game lost and drop to that number 3 spot. But past that, we're not predicting anything. There's still a lot of Pac-12 play to go on, so we'll just have to wait for tournament time.
Cal, of course, the hottest Pac-12 team at the moment, 8 straight wins. But Elaine, thank you for joining us. You can check out all her work on CronkiteSports.com, especially during that Pac-12 tournament when she'll be on up in Seattle to have all the coverage. But she's Elaine. Now back